What up, gamers? It's Monday, it's week 5, and today was an experience. So my school is a grad school for a lot of different healthcare professions, and I think the dentistry students started today. So trying to get onto campus was like literally a nightmare. So there's a stoplight on the street that my university's on. So you turn at the stoplight, and there's like this one little road, and you have to scan your ID to be able to get through the gate, and then you drive through and go to the parking lot. And today, everyone and their mom was trying to get in because it was all of us osteopathic medicine and then also the dentistry students. And it was like so bad. For me, there's 2 ways you can go, but I take the route where I have to turn left at the light. It's terrible. So I'm approaching the stoplight to turn onto campus, and it's green, but because I'm supposed to be left turning, the right turn people have the right of way. So it was just an unending line of people trying to turn right. And because they have the right of way, I couldn't go. And I was also a few cars down, so I couldn't even like force my way in if I wanted to. And it was literally so bad. Like, I was literally at the light, it was green for like 5 minutes, and the people in front of me like could not move at all because it was all the people turning right. And then finally it turns red, and then it turns green again. And this light has a green for the left turn lane, so it was green for us. So the people in front of me start going, but then the people who are turning right are also still going, and it was red for them. And that shit pissed me off because I was like, bro, you had your turn. It's our turn now. So I got really pissed off at that. So that was a great way to start my day. And then I park my car. It's like super full, so I park on like the 3rd floor. I get out and I start walking towards the stairs, and then I realized I forgot my phone, so I had to run back. And it was bad because it literally took so long to get from the stoplight to the parking garage that I was like about to be late. It literally took like 20 minutes. But yeah, I roll into the lecture hall a couple minutes before class is supposed to start. I walk into my friends and I'm ranting about these people trying to budge in line at the stoplight. And I'm like, it's way too early in the day and the week to be this pissed off already. And they were like, get ready to be more pissed off because they just posted the grades for the anatomy exam. And I was like, great. But yeah, watch my previous vlog if you want to hear how I did. So today and tomorrow are terrible because today we had PSP lecture, which was fine. I like PSP. It's probably my favorite class because it's like directly clinically relevant and like I understand it. But yeah, I had PSP, and then I had 3 anatomy lectures, and then we also started this new class called like interprofessional education, and it's basically a shared class with all the other grad schools at my school because it's about like collaboration between like medicine and dentistry and like PA, PT, all that. And it's another one of those like chill classes, kind of like the foundations class I had earlier on in the quarter. It's not like a medical school class, it's more just like a life skill, professional skills class, I guess. But yeah, that class was fine. And the anatomy ones were mid. It's just every time so much information for anatomy. And then tomorrow is also like really bad. We have 3 biochem lectures and then 2 more anatomy lectures. And then I have a PSP exam on Thursday. Honestly, it's not too bad. Like I said, I like this class and it's understandable. It's just a matter of like kind of remembering everything, but it's not like anatomy where like it's too much information to handle. For this, it's like pretty manageable. I just need to like get through everything. But yeah, so that's my plan. I'm gonna go through and actually finish all my Anki studying for this class. And then I'm probably gonna take a look at some biochem because we have a biochem exam next week. And then I'm gonna try to go through a couple of the lectures from today, hopefully, and put them on Anki. But yeah, I need to be an academic weapon today. I need to actually grind out stuff and do everything that I'm planning to do. But yeah, my school is super exam heavy. Like, we literally have an exam every single week. Also, I started Baldur's Gate. I don't remember if I talked about this, but a couple weeks back, I started getting clips of Baldur's Gate on my YouTube, and I started watching them a lot. It actually made me want to play the game so badly, and so my boyfriend got it for me as an early birthday present. But yeah, here's a picture of my character. Her name is Tylor, and she's a half-elf sorcerer. She has purple hair and this cool tattoo, and I'm so blown away at how good the graphics are on Baldur's Gate, because I played Hogwarts Legacy, and the graphics on my computer were like not that good for it. Like, I would watch clips of other people playing and it would look so crisp and clear, and mine just did not look like that. But for Baldur's Gate, like, it looks really good. It is a bit problematic because now all I want to do is play video games, and I really cannot do that. I really need to lock in. But I'm gonna try to get through as much as I can today, and then maybe I'll get an hour on Baldur's Gate. Okay, it's studying time. See you guys later. What up? Apologies for the janky appearance, but I just came back from anatomy lab and I took a shower. So today's Wednesday. I did not vlog yesterday, so just a bit of an update. I had 2 anatomy lectures and then 2 biochem lectures. The biochem lectures were like so chill. Like one of them was literally just on like membranes. That is high school stuff right there. And then the other one was about anemia. So a bit more complicated, I guess. And more new, obviously. And this is kind of crazy, but I actually really like biochem right now, which is insane because, bro, I do not like chemistry. I do not like physics. Bio is the only science that matters, but I actually really like biochem right now. Okay, partially because a lot of the stuff we've been learning is like low-key review, but also I just like really like how the professor lectures. Like, first of all, she's pretty funny, but also her slides are just super clear. She writes everything down on the slides, which is something I really need because my ears are terrible. And as opposed to anatomy, where it's a bunch of pictures with no written down explanations. And that was especially difficult with like histology and stuff, but also with yesterday. We're doing like the muscles in the back right now. To be fair, there was like information written down, but obviously a lot of it is like very visual, like being able to identify the muscle, like, you know, with your eyes. So it's a lot of like visual knowledge versus like informational knowledge, I guess. But yeah, it's a lot. I really need to study that because today in lab, we were dissecting more of the back and looking at the muscles, and the professor kept asking us what was what, and I did not know because I haven't gone over that stuff yet. Because we have a PSP exam tomorrow, so I've been focusing on that. Today kind of sucked, I'm not gonna lie. We had an OMM quiz at 7:30 a.m., which honestly is a crime. Normally we have OMM lecture at 8 a.m., so not only was it earlier than our usual time, it was also a quiz. So yeah, that was rough. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. So we had the OMM quiz, and then the OMM lecture, and then OMM lab. So I'm in the first group for OMM lab, so I had that, but then I was in the second group for anatomy lab. So I had like literally a 5-hour break in between my OMM lab and my anatomy lab, which was a bro moment. I did do some studying for PSP and some other work as well. And then I was also just like so tired. Like literally I was trying to do my Anki and I kept nodding off. I literally kept like going like this and then like jerking back up. And so I laid my head down, take a quick little nap, and honestly it made me feel much better. Like I was able to like be chill in lab and not feel sleepy. I didn't even like actually fully fall asleep, I don't think. Like I kept having flashes of consciousness where I was like realizing that I was like lying on a table in the library. It was funny too. One of my friends from one of my other classes low-key caught me lacking because I was talking to her in lab and she was like, oh yeah, I saw someone like slumped over on the table and then I saw her tattoos and realized it was you. I was like, bro. Definitely much needed because I did not want to pass out in lab while holding a scalpel. That would have been not good. I had lab until like 5, so literally I was on campus from 7:30 till 5, which is a long time. But yeah, I'm gonna do some more studying for PSP, just finish out all my Anki, and then I'm gonna do some biochem because we have a biochem exam next week too. Also, I made dinner. I have yakisoba. It's Maruchan yakisoba, so good. And then I have my matcha latte, which I will not show you the inside of because I will spill it. But also, I've been trying not to play too much Baldur's Gate. I've been trying not to get too carried away, but I've been playing a little bit each day. And I know I said this already, but I love my character. She's so pretty. Like, I love the hair. I love the matching purple hair, purple eyes. She has like a scar on her face. I always like customizing my characters to have scars on their faces. I don't know. I think it looks cool. And the graphics are so good. Like, it's so amazing. I love it so much. Hey guys. It's been a hot minute since I vlogged, and as you can see, I've changed my setup. So I got a monitor so I can do some split screen when I make my Anki cards. I'll show you my setup in a second. Basically, I made it so that I can do Anki on one screen and then I have my notes and the slides pulled up on another screen. And it's a dub. It's very nice. But yeah, so I didn't have enough room, so I moved my tripod to the middle. But some updates. So the last time I talked to you was last Wednesday. It is now Monday, week 6. Last Thursday, I had my PSP exam, and it was pretty chill. So it was 50 questions, 1 point each. It was kind of annoying because there were a couple questions that like he did not talk about. There was one question that was about, I think it was like a baby who had a rash on their butt. All the options for the answers were like some type of dermatitis. There was like contact dermatitis, there was like inflammatory dermatitis, something like that. And we had never learned anything about dermatitis, like actually. Like we learned about eczema, which is a type of dermatitis, but he never even said that in the lecture. Like I just know that. So I just like picked an answer, but people appealed for that question and he ended up accepting all the answers, I think. But there were a couple other questions that were also like that, but he didn't accept those. But yeah, I got my grade back today and I got a 46 out of 50. So I only got 4 questions wrong. So hell yeah. But yeah, I have my biochem exam tomorrow. So yay. I've been grinding out so much Anki. I did 800 cards yesterday, which was a time. And the plan is to get through all of them today as well, make sure I know everything. And I'm also gonna do some practice stuff. So I have practice questions that we did last week, and then there's like these 2 case studies that we did in our biochem teams that I need to go over again. And then there's also like extra practice questions in the textbook. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to go over. But class ended early today, so that's pretty good. We had class until 2, which gives me about 8 to 10 hours to study. Some updates. So yesterday was my birthday. I turned 23, and it's like funny because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've not met a single other person in my year who went straight into med school from undergrad besides myself. Out of all the people I've talked to, I'm like literally the youngest. And it's weird because my birthday's in September. So literally for my entire life, I've been one of the oldest people in my year and my friend group. But now I'm the youngest. And one of my friends, because her birthday's also in September, but she's turning 26. And I was like, bro, I'm gonna be 26 when I graduate med school. It's weird because after like 21, there's no fun birthdays anymore unless you're like turning 26 and having to pay your own insurance, which of course is the most fun birthday. I guess now I've gone from being the age where you could still be in college to typically not in college anymore. So I'm like almost a real adult. Once that frontal lobe finishes cooking, I'll be an actual real adult. But yeah, for my birthday, I went home, I got dinner with my family and my boyfriend, and then for dessert, we got cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. And I got the like birthday cake cheesecake, and it was so good. But yeah, it's time to study now. Here's what my setup looks like. So I can do Anki on this screen, and then I can reference my notes on this screen. And then there's my tripod. I got my white coat. It's hard to tell, ignore the rest of my fit, but it's the short one because student doctors, we get the short ones. It does look like weirdly short. I guess I'm used to seeing like the regular length one, but I do feel like a baby doctor. And it has the logo of my school on the side. Unfortunately, we don't get it embroidered, but we do get a name tag, so cool enough, I guess. But yeah, there was a sticker on the outside that said you could fit an iPad in your pocket, and you really can. This is amazing. But yeah, our white coat ceremony is in a couple weeks, so it's weird because most schools, I feel like they do it really early on, like in the first 2 weeks. Ours is like 2 months in. They really said you gotta earn that shit. What up? It's Tuesday. I had an insane day. So I had my biochem exam at 7:30 a.m. And the great thing about having your exam at 7:30 a.m. is that you don't have to wait the entire day to take it. Unlike PSP last week, which was literally the last thing we did on Thursday. But the bad thing about having an exam at 7:30 a.m. is that you're having an exam at 7:30 a.m. And having to wake up before the sun was even up was actually a crime. But yeah, so I had my individual exam, and then right after that we had a team exam, and then after that we had 2 biochem lectures, and then lunch, and then 2 anatomy lectures. So a fun time. Like literally halfway through the first biochem lecture, I was like, I'm ready to go home. Like it feels like it's like 2 p.m. and it was like 11 a.m. So we had 3 more lectures to go through. But after that, I also had a meeting with a professor that I emailed about research. And I actually interviewed with him back when I was interviewing with the school. He's doing research on cell reprogramming to do like tissue regeneration, and it sounds really interesting. So I was talking to him about that, and I'm probably gonna be researching with him in the spring. So yay, gotta get that research. And then we got grades back for biochem. First of all, the average was so high. It was an 86%. And I felt pretty good about it coming out. And yeah, I got exactly the average. I got an 86. So I got 6 questions wrong. There were 44 questions, so yeah, 6 wrong. And then for our team exam, apparently we got a 94. I don't know. It was like weird. So it was like multiple choice. It was like a scratch off, like lottery ticket kind of thing. And basically your team settles on an answer and you scratch off the answer you think is right. And if it's right, there's a star on it. But if you're wrong, you can like keep guessing until you get it right, basically. And depending on how many tries it takes you to get the right answer, you get a certain amount of points. I think we ended up getting 3 questions wrong. I don't know, math, something, and we got a 94%. Now that biochem is done, I can finally start catching up on some Anki making. And I have like 10 lectures to go through for anatomy, so that will be fun. I'm gonna try to get through like 3 today. I have 2 quizzes tomorrow, OMM and PES, so probably gonna study for those first. I always say I wanna make like 3 Anki decks, and then I managed to make like 1. and it takes me like 3 hours. But I'm gonna try to be more efficient this time. I have the pre-made decks from the older students. I'm just gonna try to look through them alongside the slides and the notes and just add or subtract anything that's needed or irrelevant. Hello, it's Wednesday. As most Wednesdays go, it was really busy. So I started out at 8 a.m. with combined OMM lecture and lab. And today we learned HVLA, which is high velocity, low amplitude. And it's like the stereotypical like technique you would think of when you think of like chiropractic probably. And it's like definitely the snazziest of osteopathic manipulative therapy. So what HVLA means is like high velocity, so a high amount of force, but low amplitude, so like traveling a short distance. So a lot of times it'll generate that pop that you hear that you would think of when you think of chiropractic. But it's not chiropractic because it's actually based on science. So we learned 3 new techniques today that were all HVLA. So there was the Kirkville crunch, Texas twist, and then knee and back. We have like scholars, they're kind of like TAs in a way, but like basically they have a special focus on OMM specifically. So they're the ones who teach our classes. And so one of them was showing my partner how to do the Kirkville crunch on me. And then she did it on me. So like they have you breathe in and then breathe out. And then like when you're breathing out, they do it on you. So I'm lying there, I'm like this. And then she's like this. She's like, okay, breathe in and breathe out. And then I breathe out and then she like does it. And like I heard and felt the pop. And I literally like gasped like involuntarily. I was like, oh, because I wasn't expecting it to go like that much. And honestly, I don't know if it's like placebo, but I actually feel better. Like usually if I'm like hunched over a lot and I feel like kind of achy in my back and I straighten up, like you will hear like my vertebrae like basically. But like throughout the day today, I've been like doing that. I've been like hunched over and then I'll straighten up expecting to hear like a bunch of crackles and I hear nothing. And I feel like good. Like my back feels like, I don't know how to even describe it, like clearer. Normally my back just feels like kind of achy or like there's like cracks that need to be cracked. Like, you know, when you like need to crack your knuckles or something. That's how I normally feel. Like I feel like there's like tension that needs to be relieved. But right now I feel like completely clear. There is no tension whatsoever. And I feel like I've never felt that way before. So it's like pretty awesome. And honestly, I need more of that because my upper neck has low-key been hurting since the anatomy exam. Like I was hunched over on my desk studying for like many hours. And since then I've felt like some tension like up here. And we haven't done any treatments that are like for the upper part of your neck, like here. But yeah, the rest of my day, I had anatomy lab. It was fine, it was chill. We were doing some more skinning. So this time skinning the front of the cadaver. And then like the front part of the arm. And then I had 2 quizzes. I had my weekly OMM quiz and then also a PES quiz. And honestly, bro, I'm like so irritated, low-key. Okay, I've said this before. I feel like I kind of complain a lot in my videos and I'm trying to not do that as much, but I'm annoyed, okay? And I feel like I'm valid this time. The thing with the OMM quizzes is that they always say it's supposed to be on last week's material, but inevitably they always have stuff that's from the next week's material that we like low-key just learned / haven't learned yet. Sometimes it's just like annoying. Like sometimes the questions they ask, I'm like, bro, it's like the weird like nitpicky questions. But then on PES, it was even worse because there was literally a question on there that we haven't gone over yet. Like apparently it's like on the lecture for tomorrow. And it was like, this person has pain in their wrist and like weakness and numbness. And then they say like, oh, what like test are you supposed to use to test it? And the options were like, it's called like the Phelan test, and then there was like a Tinel test or something like that. Those were like the 2 options, but with like varying like details about it, like where you do it or like how long you do it. And we haven't learned that. So my school has this thing called recourses. So like basically you can appeal, basically saying like, oh, this wasn't fair because like there could have been more than one right answer or like something like that. A lot of my classmates love filling out those recourses, and we occasionally get like 1 or 2 points back. Usually it's like 1 every like 2 or 3 like exams or quizzes will get a point back depending on like how legit they thought it was. And that one better be taken off because we have not learned that. So it would not be fair. But yeah, that was my complaint for today. It's like pretty late, honestly. Like those 2 quizzes were at like 5:30. So it is now 6 and I have to make dinner and do some more Anki making. So yeah, yesterday I said I was gonna try to make 3 anatomy decks and I only made 1. So my phone died while I was recording this, and I guess I just didn't bother going back and filming the rest of what I wanted to say because this is the last of the proper vlog footage I have from last year. I ended up getting too busy and honestly just didn't feel like sitting down and talking to the camera like I usually do. But I did occasionally film clips of stuff I was doing. So for the rest of the video, here are some clips highlighting the rest of my first year of medical school.
What if I wake up happy? And what if I wake up sad? Sorry if I said something that made you mad. Wishing that I could call you. Sorry my service bad. My bad. When I wake up you're not next to me. Guess I'm missing all your energy. That's all I want. Promise I am not your enemy. I just need another memory. That's all I want. 'Cause all I want is you. Is you. It takes two. 'Cause all I want is you.
Bruh. Oh my god.